Hey everyone, this is Sweta Ragbi, career consultant at Teach and Do. Today I'm going to talk about the background check, what exactly it is, and what are the steps when it comes to background check or references. There are a couple of reference steps that employers go through, and it all depends on industry and their guidelines and the type of employer. First step is your financial history. Believe it or not, there are a lot of employers, if you want to go into the financial industry and if you're a job seeker, you're trying to be working in some kind of bank or handling the money, your credit score would be one of the factors for you to get selected. For those of you who just landed in Canada, you're a newcomer. If you're wanting to go on to the banking world or financial sectors, then the first step for you to start building your credit. Now, building your credit would take some time. It would not happen overnight. Start applying for the credit, the right one, and use it properly. It's not only about having a credit score. If you're a job seeker in a banking world, it's about having a good credit score, good history of it too. Now I'll walk you through what are the good score and what are the bad score, and that might cost you a job, your dream role, if you do not have the right score. Every company have the guideline, but mostly you need to have fair credit history in order to work in the certain industry. The excellent score is anywhere from 800 to 900 score. A very good score would be anywhere from 720 to 799. Good score would be 650 to 719. Fair score would be 600 to 649. Poor score would be 300 to 499. So now where you are, that matters. Check your credit score, and there are certain kind of tools that you can check for free. If you're already in Canada and you wanted to know the credit score without paying, there's borrowall.com. You can go and download the app, and they will give you the free credit score on quarterly basis, or Credit Karma. Or you can reach out to the TransUnion or Equifax to know where you stand, and you can see all the histories and credit scores as well. And the other step to the reference check would be your criminal history. Companies would check for RCMP report. They will ask you for consent. Companies are not allowed to go and take the report. They have to get a permission from you before they start going and checking for credit or the police report. And if there is anything that would be alarming, you might be not passing that reference. So the third step would be checking your education history, and they would ask you for credentials, certifications, or get the degree that you've gotten from the different universities. Whether you're in Canada or outside, they have a right to ask for those, up to the point that they might contact your university or colleges to validate what you submitted. You might have to provide the certificate, in some cases original, or some cases duplicated, notarized by the notary public. Fourth step would be your driving record. They will be looking at the abstract, and if there's something alarming, that especially happens if you're driving company's car, or if you are in the role where you're going to be driving your own car. It doesn't matter. It's again with the industry, depends on the employers. What they're looking for specifically is if there's any record of driving under influence or anything, accident. It could be anything at all. The fourth step would be checking your personal social media page. How do you comment? What are the pictures like? Is there anything alarming for employers? The company could potentially say no based on your social media presence. They have every right to do it because it's one of the character you might have portrayed online, and that's a character that company does not want to portray to their customer. They have every right not to hire you if they don't like you on a social media, the way you act, the way you talk. Be careful what you put out there on social media because that's your brand. Now, as a job seeker, you are well protected to avoid the discriminations. Employer cannot deny you on who you are based on your race, religion, sexual orientation, marital status, also any criminal activities which has been pardoned by the court. And also they cannot deny you based on the suspended criminal offense. And the last step would be everything about your job, your experience, date of employment, the employer's detail, and your manager's reference as well. So the last point of reference would be your immediate employers, your supervisors that you reported to in last job. Make sure you have those handy. Most employer, they look at 3 or 4 references. Always check before you give out the references. Make sure that it's a valid email ID and phone number, because employer is going to call that number and they need to be aware of it. Pick the right references, the one who is going to do whatever it takes for you to help you out to get a job. And also try to coach them as well. What are the strengths and weaknesses on that particular job that you want them to talk about? So the company has even right to go not use the phone number you provided. They can directly go to HR by Googling their information and confirm your employment date and the last job title. And this has been done to prevent the fraud, making sure that whatever you're saying that on resume is true and you definitely worked in that company. To the point, the company also, what they do is they check the references of your references to ensure that person actually has a valid job title within that company. So please do not lie on a resume or interview on references sheet, because that would cost you a job. The other thing they could do when it comes to checking the employment detail and title would be from your credit bureau. It's outlined there. So make sure the dates are consistent. Otherwise, they will come back, either reject you, or they might ask you a couple of questions where you need to provide the evidence as well. Now, how are you going to streamline the whole process when it comes to job search? It's not when you get the offer, it's way in advance. Making sure you keep on talking with the references, have a backup references. We normally recommend you to have up to 5 references, so if one person drops out, you already have a backup. If you're new to Canada, newcomers to Canada, if you don't have a references, you can certainly ask the employer if you can provide the international references. While they might not call, they might email the people with their references questions and they might be able to answer that. Or our recommendation is go get the references from community people by volunteering or nonprofit, so that way you can use them as references as well. You definitely need the references in order to work in Canada. It all depends on the type of references employers are looking for, type of industry. Some of the employer, they also do the drug test and also the blood test, and also if your vaccination is up to date. If you're just landing in Canada, ensure you have up-to-date vaccination record, so that way you don't have to delay the process from your side. When it comes to job search, make it very easy for people to get the information from your side so you don't keep on waiting for that final offer. We wish you good luck with the job search, and if you have any questions about job search strategy, if you're struggling with it, then please reach out through teachindu.com under Contact Us. We teach you one size does not fit all job search strategy based on your industry.